Welcome back. This is Scotty of Sigma Signals. I'm one of the co-founders, and I just wanted to take a moment to go over what Sigma Signals is all about and how you can take advantage of it. So first off, I've been a trader for a little over 2 years, and I've made plenty of mistakes. I've learned a lot of things. I am not the best at anything, but I've been very fortunate to hook up with some brilliant people, technical analysis, as well as software programmers and developers. And I was able to come up with something for myself, and then I shared it with my close friends, and now I'm sharing it with the general public. So, first, I'm going to explain how it's different than other tools and other things that are out there. Typically, if you've been on Telegram or any of the messaging platforms, you may have been spammed with buy this crypto now and sell it at these different targets. And I always found that very funny because, like by the time I would trade it, I would end up being the sucker that got taken. So I ended up developing an AI that would predict these pump and dumps. And again, I shared it with my friends, and it became useless because the market dried up for crypto, for alts specifically. So I was looking for something, and I was lucky enough to hook up with some brilliant programmers and technical analysis guys, came up with a system, and it's based on the way that I trade, the way that I figured out to trade. And it is that you are either in or you're out. You're either in Bitcoin or you're in fiat. Um, it's kind of like you can't be partially pregnant. Well, in this case, you can't hold Bitcoin, sell some of it, and think that you're safe because you're now short. You're either in or you're out. So when you take that viewpoint and understand that, internalize that you're either long or short on Bitcoin, then looking at this chart will make a lot more sense. And so what I've come up with is a buy or sell system, and it's called only long or only short. As an example here, on the 8th of February, it said go long. And this is a 30-minute chart. So within a 30-minute time frame, it'll say, you know what, we really believe that this is going to go long. Sends a signal out through Telegram, and there's three different channels. One's a 10-minute, one's a 30-minute, and one's a 2-hour. And the reason that they're set up that way is so that you can mute the ones you're not interested in. You don't want to be bombarded with 10-minute signals if you're only interested in a 2-hour signal. So this one is my favorite. It's the 30-minute signal. It would say, okay, it's time to buy. And so when you get that signal, it's your opportunity to go grab some Bitcoin. So if you got some fiat on an exchange, or God forbid you got Tether or something else like that, you transfer it into Bitcoin and you get to ride it up. Now, this is where it spiked to. And some people would say or argue, hey, you missed the top. Well, you don't know where the top's going to be. And I don't know where the top's going to be. And then other strategies would say, okay, well, set your you know price targets along this path. It might be one here, one here, one here, one here. Well, when you average them all out, you never get the top anyway. So the strategy is quite different. All you do is you buy when it says buy and you sell when it says sell. Now, in this case, you would have made the difference from here to here, or what did that one started at 33.75, and you would have been out at 35.92. Not bad. Now, this section here, and this happens a lot, where it's kind of sideways, and you'll actually either break even or lose money in these sideways trends. Now, even if it looks like you've made money, there's always a transactional cost, and some exchanges are terrible for that. So if you're on Bittrex or one of the other ones where there's a big spread or there's lots of fees, then you'll actually lose a little bit of money, even if it looks completely flat. I use BitMEX. Now, there's other ones that are better than that. It just happens to be the one I'm using right now. So whenever you see something like this, you're probably going to lose a little bit, but you'll be more than compensated because you'll be in the right position and take full advantage of this long move upwards. Now, you see how it goes right up here? You didn't catch that last little bit because it tells you to short right here. So yes, you lost this and you lost a little bit at the bottom, but you took advantage of the full move and you didn't get kicked out in here. So that's the 30-minute chart. Now the 10-minute chart is interesting, and you'll see why. It will actually find closer to the top than the 30-minute chart. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so right there. Now, I don't know if you remember, but the 30-minute chart was down here in the 4,092 area, and this one's up here in the 4135. The downside with this is that you've got all these extra trades that you have to make. Whereas the last one, you traded here and then you didn't trade again until here. So I just use this one sort of to help me figure out, if there's a large move like this, I'll pay attention to the 10-minute saying, uh-oh, I might have to put in my 30-minute soon. And that's usually what happens. Not all the time, but often that's what happens. Like you get a long like this, and I was looking for the 30-minute. I was prepped. I was ready for the 30-minute. Never came, never came, never came. And then had this big move up, and I was waiting for the 30-minute. And you know what? The 30-minute came. I was ready to place the trade. And so I got the trade right there. So that's how I use the 10-minute. And the other one that I find really exciting, and probably the most important one, even though I don't use it every single day, is the 2-hour, because that gives me a general sense of the overall direction of the market. And some people simply use the 2-hour and they don't use anything else because it's simple, it's easy. You're not going to get the absolute tops and the bottoms of any of these, but you'll get the massive amount. You'll get the biggest chunk of it, and you'll have to do the fewest trades. So if you look at this, this is all the way back to November 1st. There was a long, then a short. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 trades over the course since November, and we're now end of February, almost March. That's nothing. And you would make a little profit here. You'd make a lot of profit there. There's like a $3,000 gain here. This one I think is a $500 move, another $400 move, a $400 move. And see, you didn't get that little bit because it moved too quickly, but you got this last bit, and you'll get whatever else happens until there's another turn. So this is a really good one if you want to do mostly hands off, if you're not going to be sitting at your computer, doing this all the time. But I like to use this one to give me a sense of what I should do on the 30-minute. So right now I know that the 2-hour is saying we're going down, and I would change it. Let's look at the 30-minute. Now the 30-minute hasn't changed yet, but if the 10-minute popped and said, oh, we're going up, but if the 2-hour still said down, I may not be excited about placing a 30-minute because we might just be doing some of the sideways action. And so in that case, so this is a 30-minute chart, the 2-hour was saying up for this whole time until here, and the 30-minute saying down. So if I had just relaxed and said, you know what, I don't really know, I don't think this is the move. I don't think the move is finished yet. Then I would have been better off. But in this case, I actually traded every 30-minute trade. So I traded here, 3 times here, and then once there. That's not a lot for 2 weeks. 6 times in 2 weeks is not a big deal. So that's what Sigma Signals is. It comes in the form of a Telegram message telling you to buy or sell on the 10-minute, 30-minute, or 2-hour. Keep in mind that this is all for educational purposes. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. If you do follow these signals, you are responsible for the outcome. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, message me in Telegram, and the links will be below.